Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at this worksheet that you have, and what it does is it kind of matches up with the lesson we've been doing, but with shapes instead. First off, let's talk about this little sign right here. Okay, this sign right here, one second. Okay, the sign that you're seeing right there just means similar. So anytime you see this sign on a test or something, they're asking if something is similar. Usually it'll be your shapes, okay? So let's look at the two shapes that they gave you. What do you notice is the same about these two objects and what is different? Okay, so on your paper, I need you to answer that for me. So you should have exactly what I have, but you need to fill in the blanks. Okay, similar figures have two properties. First off, let's zoom in on this one object and let's talk about it for a second. If I outline this shape, okay, what I'm doing is I'm going around these sides. Okay, so what this is right here are sides. I want you to put parentheses beside your word sides and tell me how many sides there are in this object. Okay, the next thing we are going to talk about is something called, I don't know why it's working, I'll do it up here, angles. Okay, so what I want you to do is go around and count your angles and tell me how many angles are on this object. So now let's go back up here to what we left blank, the two lines we left blank. If you look at your similar figures, they have two properties, okay? So similar figures have sides that are equal, and they have angles that are proportional. Proportional means the same thing as equal, okay? So make yourself a note if you don't understand that. All right, let's look at our two parallelograms. Parallelogram ABCD, so let's go ahead and label our two parallelograms that we have, is similar to parallelogram EFGH. Remember to make sure that you are doing everything I'm doing in mine, okay? So what they're telling us is that these two shapes are similar, okay? So what that means is we're going to set them equal to each other to solve for x, okay? So what we're going to do is, I want you to just understand that in order to set something equal, if you have two shapes that are similar, that means that the top equals the top, the side will equal the side, the base will equal the base. So we can set them equal to each other. So the model that we're going to use is top over side, okay? And of course, we always start with what we're given. So let's look at the parallelogram that we were actually given measurements for. The top of the parallelogram is 9. The side is 6. Okay? The top of the other parallelogram is 12, and the side is x. So what you're going to do is you're going to cross multiply and solve for x. In your answer, you must include unit. Units are inches, feet, meters, miles. If your answer does not have a unit in it, it does not count. Okay, so pause the video while you solve for x before you move on. Number 2 says that the following triangles are similar. Find the missing length. Well, the first thing that you should notice is that the second triangle is flipped, okay? So the first thing that we should do is make it right side up, okay? So we know that the side is x and the base is 2 feet. So what we did is we flipped it. Okay, so what you're going to do is side over base, set up your two ratios, set them equal to each other, and solve for x. So pause the video, solve for x, make sure you include your unit, and play the video once you're finished. Okay, number 3. These rectangles are similar, find M. The difference here is that we have one rectangle that is included in another rectangle. So there's one, and then our second one is the one that's outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to physically move the smaller rectangle that has a top of M and a side of 4. Okay? So if you look at it, you have your other rectangle that has a top of N. And what would the side be? If you look at this rectangle, it has a side here and it has a side here. You cannot just say that the 4, it went with the other triangle and it's gone. That's not true. This side right here has to be added. 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay? So what you're going to do is top over side, solve for M. Okay? Pause the video and come back when you're finished. Alright, the rectangles are similar, find X. Once again, we have a shape that has one shape inside of another shape. So that's our small one, here's our large one. So let's take them apart. We have our smaller triangle, which has a side of 4 and a base of 5. Then we have our larger triangle that has a side of 7 and a side of what? We added 3.4, so we should add this 5 plus x. If you say that you're going to put a 5x at the bottom, then you multiplied it. You cannot do that. You have to add it. We have a constant and we have a variable. Therefore, 5 plus x is not 5x. 5 plus x is just 5 plus x. Okay? So I am going to tell you that you'll do side over base. Let's start with the small triangle that we know the measurements for. The side of the small is 4, the base is 5. The side of the larger triangle is 7, and the base is 5 plus x. We will cross multiply. So with that being said, what we're going to do is distribute the 4 to the 5 and the 4 to the x. So you should do 4 times 5 plus 4 times x equals 5 times 7. You should get a two-step equation. And when you solve that equation, you will have your measurement for x. Number 5 says rectangle ABCD has side lengths of 18 and 27. Rectangle EFGH has side lengths of 36 and 54. Are the rectangles similar? So first off, let's draw our two rectangles. Okay? And when you label them, it just goes in the corner. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Okay? So, ABCD has a side length of 18 and a side length of 27. Can I go and put 27 here? No. Because if you think about a rectangle, the sides across from each other are parallel, okay? That means they are equal. So if 18 goes there, then 18 goes on this side too. 27 would have to go on the top or bottom. EFGH has 36 and 54. So all we're going to do is side over base and see if they are similar. Okay? What is the side of ABCD? What's the base? What's the side of EFGH? What's the base? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make them both decimals. What does 18 over 27 equal, and what does 36 over 54 equal? If you get the same answer for both of them as decimals, then they are similar. If you get different decimals, then they are not similar. Okay, so I need your answer on the paper. A model of a building is 18 inches tall and 24 inches wide. The actual building is 30 feet tall. How wide is the building? So I'm going to label model and I'm going to label building. What I like to do is I think of someone building a house, okay? They have to have a house plan. So before this building was built, they had a model. And they built it and made the actual building. So the model is 18 inches tall. Will 18 go on the bottom or the side? If you think about it, tall is vertical, up and down. So 18 is going to have to go on the side, and the width would be at the bottom. The building would be 30 feet tall and how wide is the building. Okay, so what I want you to do for this one is set up your own model. Will you do side over bottom, bottom over top, top over side, what? I need to see what model you're going to use on your paper and then set it up, solve it, solve for x. Okay? Let's look at the next question. All right, this last question is a little different, and what we've got is determine the unknown angle measure in each triangle. Let's talk for a second, okay? Let's talk about a circle. A circle, if you think about a circle, how many degrees does it have going all the way around? If you spin in a circle, how many degrees did you go? 360. What about a triangle? How many degrees is in a triangle? 180 degrees. That's a 1. Okay? So what that means is that angles in a triangle must equal 180. I want that statement wrote on your paper around this question somewhere. Angles in a triangle must equal 180. Okay? So, if we know that here's our triangle, okay? And we know that one angle is 55, one angle is 45, what will this angle be? You know that inside has to equal 180. Okay, so I want you to determine how will you do that and what will it be? What will that missing angle be? Once you are finished, I need you to come show your paper to me, only if there is not someone at my desk. You know the rule, only one person at my desk at a time. When you finish, I will check it. If you missed any, you will fix them. If I can tell that you did not watch the video, you will get a brand new sheet and start over.